You're watching local coverage you can count on. This is WANE 15 News, first at 5.
Good evening. We start with breaking news. One person is hurt after a shooting that happened just a short time ago. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tara Brantley.
And I'm Dirk Rowley. WANE 15's Brianna Brownlee is live on the scene with the latest. And Brianna, what do we know?
Guys, we just arrived on the scene. We haven't been able to speak to any officers just yet, so we're not sure exactly what happened. But what I can tell you is that we are at a gas station called Phillips that's located on Pettit and South Calhoun Street. I will step out the way just so you can see the scene right now. A person has been shot in an incident on the city's south side. Police and medics were called around 4:10 in the afternoon to the area of Southgate Plaza on a report of a shooting. Dispatchers confirmed there are two scenes, one at East Pettit Avenue and one on Avondale Drive, and another at Calhoun Street and Pettit Avenue. Dispatchers told with WANE 15 that the person who was shot is suffering from life-threatening injuries. So yeah, as I stated, we are just now getting on the scene, but we will stay here until we find out exactly what happened. We'll have you updated later. Reporting, Brianna Brownlee, WANE 15 News.
Now, your first weather from the live Doppler 15 Fury Weather Center.
Another gray day across the area with additional raindrops, and those raindrops continue here tonight. The good news is our highest intensity rainfall from this system has ended, so all the rain that remains from here on out before this system finally leaves us will be on the lighter side. Not much more in terms of accumulation, but still some pesky, stubborn showers will be lingering tonight, and then we could even see a few more tomorrow. This is Storm Tracker right now with this rain moving in from east to west. We have some scattered showers around Fort Wayne, also in parts across northwest Ohio from Defiance down to Van Wert, also Bluffton and Decatur seeing some rainfall right now. Temperatures sit around 60. We're at 60 on the dot in Fort Wayne, 59 in Columbia City, 60 in Huntington, 59 in Decatur and Van Wert, 57 in Angola and Auburn. Now here this evening, temperatures slowly falling through the 50s. This is your hour-by-hour forecast from our WANE weather app. At 6 o'clock tonight, 59, at 8, 57, at 10, still at 57. Now coming up in the 10-day forecast, we do have some warmer air on the way that gives our temperatures a nice summer-like boost. I'm back to track it for you and your Memorial Day weekend forecast in a few minutes.
Nicholas, thank you. As part of the recent CARES Act, the city of Fort Wayne will receive approximately $1.7 million in emergency funding.
The first phase of spending will go to those who need shelter. WANE 15's Adam Solarzik joins us with more on the distribution of the funds.
Yeah, Dirk and Tara, the city of Fort Wayne will be focusing the federal funds to provide shelter to some of the community's most vulnerable residents. They are working with nonprofits in the area to help those experiencing homelessness or those in need to quarantine but can't safely do so in their home find immediate shelter. This first phase includes funding totaling $370,000 of the approximately $1.7 million made available to the city. Funds are being provided to area nonprofits to not only provide shelter but also to provide meals and sanitizing services. It has also resulted in a temporary shelter for homeless women that the city hopes becomes a permanent fixture.
We now have, first time ever, a temporary women's shelter for those women that are single, that are not addicted, and are not recipients of domestic abuse. So for our community, this is huge.
And the city is currently planning the second phase of funding to those most in need. That phase will coincide with the end of the governor's emergency order, which is scheduled to expire on June 5th. And tonight at 6, you can hear from two of those nonprofits that will be receiving that funding from the city. Reporting in the newsroom, Adam Solarzik, WANE 15 News.
Adam, thanks. Also, through the CARES Act, Purdue Fort Wayne is able to give students financial relief. PFW received $2.7 million. A group of about 6,400 Purdue Fort Wayne students who were enrolled either full or part-time as of March 13th and through the completion of the spring semester may qualify for these funds. The Office of Student Affairs is reaching out to them via email and other forms of direct communication. This is the first of what is expected to be 2 disbursements PFW will get this year.
President Trump announces the launch of a new food program called the Farmers to Families Food Box today. Trump says the government will buy $3 billion worth of food to give to needy families and distribute $16 billion directly to farmers and ranchers impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. This, too, was authorized by the CARES Act.
As part of this program today, we're announcing $16 billion direct payments to farmers and ranchers. So $16 billion is going directly to the farmers and ranchers. We fought hard for this. These payments will compensate farmers for losses related to the global pandemic.
Sign-ups begin on May 26th through your local Farm Service Agency offices. President Trump also met with Senate Republicans today about possible future coronavirus relief packages.
Instead of getting a stimulus check, how about a debit card instead? The Treasury Department has started issuing some stimulus payments by sending a debit card to people in the mail. About 4 million payments will be sent this way. It could mean that those people will get their money faster than if they had to wait for a check. The Visa debit card can be activated immediately and can be used to make purchases, to get cash at an ATM, or transfer funds into a bank account without being charged a fee.
Byron Health Center relocates all of their residents and team members to their new location. It started this morning at the facility on Lima Road. 4 trips were needed to move all 132 residents and their belongings to their new building on Beacon Street. The new Byron Health Center has been designed specifically for the residents, many of whom have intellectual and developmental disabilities.
CityLink is set to roll out in full force next week. The Fort Wayne Bus Company says they'll put more buses in operation to promote social distancing and avoid overcrowding. CityLink also wants passengers to continue wearing face coverings while riding and to maintain 6 feet of distance from other passengers. Their priority is the health and safety of not only passengers but bus drivers as well. CityLink is set to return next Tuesday. You can find the adjusted hours on our website, WANE.com. The U.S. death toll from the coronavirus has now topped 90,000 as states push ahead with reopening.
More than 1.5 million Americans have been infected, including a Maryland teen who died from the virus. At least 21 states are still seeing new cases, including Georgia, where health officials have come under fire for misleading data used to justify the state's reopening. In South Florida, restaurants and hair salons are operating again. Smaller attraction parks there are hoping to reopen by the end of the week. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo says the state's capital region will begin its first phase of reopening tomorrow, and Memorial Day ceremonies of up to 10 people will be allowed. 2 weeks from today will be primary election day in Indiana. Early voting starts next week. WANE 15 is your local election headquarters, and we have you covered. In-person early voting in Allen County starts next Tuesday at the Grand WANE Center and continues until June 1st. For times, head to WANE.com. Voters will be provided with a glove to sign the poll pad and to vote with on the machine. Over 19,000 Allen County mail-in ballots have already been returned. The deadline to request a mailed ballot is this Thursday. Then 25 polling places will be open on primary election day, June 2nd.
Thermometers are hard to come by these days, and it could get worse. Manufacturers and distributors say they were already in high demand earlier this year when healthcare workers started ordering more to scan COVID-19 patients. But now, companies that are requiring temperature checks are also buying them in mass quantities. The CEO of one of the nation's largest thermometer manufacturers says demand is up, get this, 900% for his company's non-contact thermometers.
Indiana's Back on Track plan is getting ready to head into stage 3. So how's it all going? WANE 15 is proud to once again join our Nexstar sister stations across the state for a live town hall meeting. This time we'll talk about unemployment benefits, stimulus money, reopening businesses, and kickstarting local economies. Our panel will feature state economic experts, U.S. representatives, and mayors from around Indiana, including Fort Wayne Mayor Tom Henry. This hour-long town hall meeting is tomorrow night at 7. It will be live on WANE 15 and WANE.com. Then at 8, stay on the website where Mayor Henry and others will continue the discussion for a half hour of digital exclusive content.
Coming up on First at 5, announcing the Indiana Teacher of the Year, and few will argue with the selection. We'll explain.
Plus, a new pizza place is coming to Fort Wayne. We'll tell you where Greek's Pizzeria will open when your number 1 News at 5 returns.
Local coverage you can count on continues with Tara Brantley and Dirk Rowley. You're watching WANE 15 News, First at 5.
If you're a Hoosier teacher, congratulations. You've been named Teacher of the Year.
Well done. Today, the Indiana Department of Education recognizes all Indiana teachers collectively for the award. The department traditionally recognizes a single educator with that award. State School Superintendent Jennifer McCormick said, quote, the COVID-19 pandemic brought new complexities and challenges to schools with no advance warning. She cites teachers' display of incredible flexibility and commitment.
Preparations continue for Fort Wayne Community Schools virtual graduation. Today at Wayne High, seniors put on caps and gowns for a photo shoot. Each of the more than 2,000 senior class members will be featured in an online ceremony. Seniors also received the Class of 2020 yard sign. They'll get their diplomas and awards during a drive-through event that will take place on each of the school's already scheduled graduation dates next month. The cap and gown pickup and photo shoots wrap up tomorrow at Northside High School. Huntington seniors also got their caps and gowns today. Huntington North High School staff members started making these special deliveries. Along with their cap and gown, they also got a yard sign. The special deliveries continue through Thursday.
Greek's Pizzeria, a staple in college towns like Muncie, will soon open in Fort Wayne. Greek's will take over a space that had been occupied by Amore's Pizza on East DuPont Road. Greek's plans to open in early June with carryout and delivery, no dine-in service. The owner tells WANE 15 that Amore's employees may be retained. All right, we've had 3 days of rain. Will we see 4? Nicholas has a look at your 10-day forecast next.
Local coverage you can count on continues with Chief Meteorologist Nicholas Pereira's live Doppler 15 Fury forecast.
From here on out, the rain will become lighter and lighter, but yes, there is still more to get through before this system clears us. Take a look at our Futurecast rain amounts for the upcoming 24 hours. You can see these amounts quite light. Less than 1/4 of an inch across northeast Indiana and northwest Ohio. And that is a good thing because we've picked up 2 to 3 inches of rainfall in most spots over the past few days. Look at some of these numbers. LaGrange, our highest number, 3.24 inches. Bryan, Ohio, 3.01 inches. And we have Van Wert with a very similar 3+ inch reading as well. Our Fort Wayne official reading at the airport, 2.23 inches. What's happening here is we have this area of low pressure, this pocket of cold air way up above us in the atmosphere, and it is just stuck in place with nothing to push it out of the way. Yesterday it was centered over Illinois. Today, here it is swirling around down to our south over Kentucky, southern Indiana, and Tennessee. Overall, that will decrease our rain chances a little bit over the next 24 hours, but as you can see, there's still plenty of moisture farther north to stream in here this evening. Again, some occasional light rain expected for us, some of you experiencing it right now. We see some scattered rain around Fort Wayne, from Bryan down to Van Wert, from Decatur over to Huntington. Also some scattered rain, Hartford City and Portland. As evening wears on, don't be surprised if these raindrops start and stop in your location, then start up again, because the system, again, is not moving anywhere very fast at all. Country Heritage, our winery and vineyard camera there in Layotto, you can see the cloudy, overcast sky that remains in place. Even when the rain chances leave, we're going to have a number of cloudy moments before the sun can peek out again. And you know, this recent stretch of cloudy days here means our sunstat has stayed stable since last week. 25% of possible sunshine. That's all we've seen all year long as we look at all the data dating back to January 1st. Currently, our temperature sits at 60. Our winds are strong from the east to 23 miles per hour, and we will remain with some windy moments over the course of the next 24 hours. Temperatures starting to fall into the upper 50s, and we'll all be in the 50s later on this evening, continuing into the overnight. 57 in Angola, 61 in Warsaw now. The scattered rain chances do continue as we head into late night. Now, we do see the chance decrease a little bit by early morning. The best chance at showers then south of Fort Wayne. Morning time temperatures around 50, and we'll stay on the cooler side of average yet again. That mostly cloudy sky all day long, perhaps an occasional shower here and there, but most of the day dry. High temperatures will approach 60. Take a look at the 10-day forecast. You can see higher temperatures are coming our way. Thursday, 64. Still cloudy and overcast, but rain-free. Friday, mostly cloudy, 70. Over the weekend, Saturday, 78. Sunday, 84, a partly cloudy day. Then on Monday, Memorial Day, some rain and thunderstorms possible, 85. Tuesday, 81. Wednesday, 83. Thursday, back to 81. And a week from Friday, 77. That's the latest forecast. We have more news for you coming up.
Nicholas, another mural will go up in downtown Fort Wayne. We're going to tell you where tonight at 6.
But first, is inflation returning? And if so, what are the economic ramifications? Greg Reynolds breaks it down next on the 2-Minute Money Plan. This week on the 2-Minute Money Plan, we're talking about the possible return of inflation and what that means for the economy. Financial advisor Greg Reynolds of Reynolds Wealth Management joins us every Tuesday on First at 5. Greg, always good to see you. The Fed and other central banks have been trying to encourage healthy inflation for about a decade. What does this mean?
Well, so yes, I mean, that's been part of the Fed's mandate, right, to get that inflation benchmark at 2% or so. They have not been very successful in that for over a decade. But with this massive fiscal and economic stimulus that has been pumped into the system in the last weeks and in the weeks to come, it's very likely that they may actually get their wish and start to see some inflation eventually take hold. Although in the short term that hasn't been the case. We've seen deflation almost everywhere here recently, with the exception, of course, at the grocery store.
Do you think they're taking the right approach?
I do. I mean, I think that from a long-term standpoint, a healthy inflation rate, again, benchmarking around that 2% is good for the economy on balance overall. So if we can get there, I think that would be great, but it will create a different environment for us all to navigate, no doubt about it.
What's the bottom line for investors as far as navigating with inflation?
Well, I think that the bottom line is that investors have become very complacent to dealing with a deflationary or a static inflationary environment for, again, as you mentioned, nearly a decade or so. If we end up in an environment in the months or years to come on a forward-going basis that has substantial inflation, I think people are going to have to rethink the way that portfolio has been constructed, and there are going to need to be some major adjustments made over time.
In what way?
Well, I think that you're going to have to rotate the equity position of the portfolio to positions that maybe will do better in an inflationary environment. I think beyond that, I think the bond portions of portfolios have a lot of potential issues if we're getting very high inflation and if we're still seeing that coupled with potentially low interest rates. So I think that the conventional 60-40, 70-30, 80-20 portfolio mix, depending on your age and time horizon, just is going to have to look a little different if we do get into an environment where we're seeing a lot of inflation.
Great advice. As always, Greg, thank you for that. For more information about making sound financial decisions, you can contact Greg Reynolds at Reynolds Wealth Management. Next Tuesday on First at 5, we'll tackle another topic on the 2-Minute Money Plan. And be sure to join me tomorrow morning along with Alyssa, Greg, and Michael on First News between 5 and 7 a.m. We'll be right back.
Senior year for me has really been an encapsulation of a lot of hard work that I've been trying to do over the course of the past 2 to 3 years. From becoming a Young Arts finalist and then becoming a U.S. Presidential Scholar in the Arts semifinalist and nominee, I've achieved a lot of success that I wanted to achieve. The work that I was trying to complete before the corona hit was really based in community and a lot of work with my friends. But when the corona hit, I wasn't able to do those things anymore. In this time of solitude, I've really been able to take a deep dive into self-reflection and learning more about myself as an artist and as a person. Growing as a person by myself has really enabled me to help others in a way that I don't think I could have before. So, despite my senior year not being exactly what I planned, it was great.
We have an update to that breaking news that we brought you earlier.
Let's go back to WANE 15's Brianna Brownlee, who is live now with new information. Bree, what can you tell us?
Guys, at the beginning of the show, we were at the gas station Phillips that's located on Pettit in South Calhoun. While I was there, one of the officers did tell me that that is actually where the victim drove after being shot at this location. I will step out the scene just so you guys can see what's going on right now. As you can see, police are still here trying to investigate what's going on. What I was told is that a PIO is now on the scene, so we are working to get more information. But what we know so far is that a person has been shot, and police were called around 4:10 to the area of Southgate Plaza. All we know about the victim right now is that they are suffering from life-threatening injuries. We will continue to get you guys updated, and you can find more information on WANE.com. Reporting, Brianna Brownlee, WANE 15 News.